Trey Stokes.
That's same. Again, it's in the middle there. It's you got it done, and like I said, if you want to make more, then really look at it. Regardless of what we say or anyone else says, you have to look at it yourself, and you have to look at it yourself and take away all the. We really worked hard, and we took all day to get that shot, and really try and look at it as if you paid $10 in a theater to look at it.
Right.
And does this you have to disassociate yourself from everything you make, and your mom loves everything you do. My mom loves everything I do. But
your mom loves everything I do too.
She does, actually. She won't shut up about it. In fact, and I'm a little sick of that at Christmas every year. But anyway, you have to look at your own stuff with the most critical eye, and be willing to hate it and realize that you could do better.
Cool. Ryan Wieber.
None of the choreography here really sort of jumped out at me. I think it just sort of like functioned,
but it functions.
Yeah, it functions.
We really have to figure out what the gray line is between choreography that is there and the points are there, and then really selling it and what the difference is. We can go through that in future movies, but
there's definitely sort of they're trying, and there's like for example they're staying kinetic and they're moving around. They're kind of staying moving, but it's often sort of in a circling each other kind of a way, or moving sort of back and forth, but not. It doesn't have that sort of driving, like really pushing it in one direction or the other and things like that. And it's beginning to do a lot of the right things.
Dorkman? Yeah, as Trey was talking about with kind of the bounty backstory and stuff like that, it's the same in the choreography. It's like at no time am I really clear on exactly what's going on. It's like we talked about before, compared to Jeff Hibbert's entry. It's like you can't really tell when someone is on the offense or the defense.
Right.
In this,
and you can't tell how his actions of I'm trying to get this bounty, how that is defining the choreography.
Right. Exactly. And shot choices and editing, as we've discussed, also make it unclear because there's no real flow, which is part of it. It makes it difficult to get into the choreography and really engage with it, because each time it makes an awkward cut, you have to reorient yourself, and it distracts you from the choreography for a second or two before you can get back into it. And when that's happening on every cut, and you're cutting a lot, it makes it very difficult to engage with it. So I would say for this group in particular, you're definitely going to want to work. I think the choreography is there in some senses. It's just selling it. Well, selling it, not just performance, but display, how to show it and how to communicate it more clearly.
Cool. Eddie?
Not much more to say for this one. This one kind of definitely. It should have a logic. The progression of moves should be a logical conclusion. It should be, I was doing this move, then I have to do this move, then I would do this move. I would just say for this entrant, watch it again and with a critical eye, and look like, okay, I just threw this swing. Next, he's going to do this. Would he really want to do that? Like, does this really make sense? And it should. And however you finish the fight with either somebody getting killed or whatnot, that should be a result of all those moves that lead up to it. So I would say with that, just keep an eye out for that.
Cool.
I don't know how people generally. I'm sorry. I know we got to get through it, but as a general, I don't know how people generally choreograph. If there's like one person who thinks up the moves and teaches it to everyone else, that used to kind of be the way that like we worked, but now. What helps us is actually working through it together and move by move. And each time, both of us are thinking, we're aware of which one of us is on the offense and which is on the defense. And it's always, it'll be the kind of thing where he'll go, what if I did this? And it's like, well, I don't think you should do that, because then I can just totally kill you right here.
So you play it out like a slow-mo chess game.
You go in slow motion and you figure it out, and it's like, okay, if you did that, I could just kill you right here.
You're both working out the imaginary situation that you're both in simultaneously.
And it's like, we're both thinking, this is what I have to do to win the fight at any given move. And if it's like, well, if you do that, I can kill you right here, and he'll either think, well, okay, so I'm not going to do that, or B, if you try to do that, then I'll do this, and then you've got another move out of it, and you build it up from there. And it takes a while. But but doing it that way, I think creates much tighter choreography and more intention, and you feel what's going on, and it's more clearly communicated.
I would just say that, you know, coming off of that, the very first martial art I ever did was Tai Chi Chuan. And when you think of Tai Chi, you don't necessarily think of fighting or really hardcore stuff. But in Tai Chi, we do an energy drill called pushing hands. And you know, hey, I've done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai since then, so I've done lots of, you know, quote, hard stuff since then. But that actually helps out a lot with fight choreography, just going slow and feeling where the other guy's intention is going and how you deal with that. I would recommend anybody and everybody try things like that. Try things like Chi Sao or Hubud or any sort of like energy drill where you really have to kind of improv with somebody, and that will really make you think from the inside out of how to really construct a fight in your mind.
Ryan, last thoughts?
Yeah, what I was going to say, from what Mike was just talking about, in terms of just going very, very slow and kind of, okay, what if I did this? And you're like, no, that won't work. Okay, what if I did this? Oh, well, if I blocked it like this, you know, going through it very slowly. That's also how some of the most inventive and interesting choreography ideas develop, because you're there and you're doing something that the other person would not think of.
Right.
You know, you surprise them, and then you go, oh, that's great. Well, I'd have to do this, I guess, and then you go from there, and you get all sorts of fun things like,
because there's a genuine back and forth involved in the scene.
Yeah, there's often moments when we do that, and it's like, well, then I do this, and it's like, oh shit. Okay, give me a second. You know.
Right on.
That's how you get pulling your hand down and the saber hits you in the face.
Exactly.